Guru Nam Karo Sadhana, Karo Sadhana. Guru Nam Karo Sadhana, Karo Sadhana. Jena mete paparo, Guchi Bhavo Jatanam, Karo Sadhana. Guru Nam Sar Karo, Guru Pallabadane, Guru Rupo Dhyan Karo, Shanti Pabe Jivone, Guru Nam Sar Karo, Guru Pallabadane, Guru Rupo Dhyan Karo, Shanti Pabe Jivone, Bhuleo na Jeno, Sri Guru Sri Charane, Jai Charane Koti Chand, Biro Jito Jahato Nam. Om Guru Nam Karo Sadhana, Guru Karo Sadhana. Durlabho Janmo Pe Kiva Karya Korecho, Janma Hole Mrityu Ache, Taru Pae Bebecho, Ananda Moe Bhule, Nirananda Roecho, Tinta Kite Da Kotale, Noile Same Pabonam. Om Guru Nam Karo Sadhana, Karo Sadhana. Namaste, Sitaram, and welcome. A bhajan that talks about Guru Nam Karo Sadhana, calling the name of the Guru, reading the utterances of the Guru, and always thinking of the Guru. Keep it in your head all the time. And you cry for the Guru's love and mercy. This way He'll give it to you. Devotees, let us do adorations to the Guru. And here we have the Param Guru, Adi Deva, original Guru, Lord Shiva. Here he's making music for us, coming out of the water. Om Dhyana Moolam Guru Murti, Puja Moolam Guru Param, Mantra Moolam Guru Vakyam, Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa. Bolo Sisi Guru Maharaj ki jai, Swami Parameshananda ji ki jai, Shankar Bhagwan ki jai. You know, it's true, when you think about the Guru all the time, what happens? He comes to you. He comes, he appears in front of you. And how beautiful it is. He has that Trishul in his hand, the Trishul, signifying that he has transcended base nature, that we also have to do this, meaning that we got to go beyond the three gunas, Rajasic, Tamasic, and Sattvic. Goodness, overactiveness, and also laziness. We have to go beyond them. And we pray to the Guru, Lord Shiva, here he is, and Swami Parameshananda ji, and we ask them for the blessings. Devotees, Durga Puja is coming to a closure, and I know many of you maybe didn't get to go to the temple, but at least you would have thought about Durga Puja and reminisce, and what if puja you could have done in your house, looking at videos from various temples doing puja. So there was an abundance of puja, but the best puja is the Mansika Puja, where you contemplate on the greatness of Mother Durga. Now the question is, what have you learned? Where are you in the same position before Durga Puja, or are you have traversed and you've gone to higher planes? Did your thoughts break their bonds, meaning that you were able to crush your ego? Because this is what the message of Mother Durga is, that the gods and goddesses in the heaven, they were having this abhiman, this ego, and this is what caused divisions. And you know what I'm talking about? When that ego is there, there's division. Even within ourselves, we have division. Bad and good thoughts are fighting each other. We have a Mahabharat that is going on. And when the egos are crushed, when we don't identify ourselves or what we have and what we do, our reputation, we're different from you, things are missing in our life, all of these things, we are separated from God. When we have these things going for us, this is when we have the ego is operating at its maximum, and there cannot be no peace. So when I said, did your thoughts break their bonds? The bonds of Abhiman, ego, has to be crushed, and then you have got the message of Mother Durga. So this would be at least one message. Your mind transcends limitation. Your mind is open, attached to nothing, and open to all things. In other words, open to discover where you came from. What was your origin? Is it your origin from the union of your father and your mother? Or is it that you have been going on a journey, and this segment of your journey, this lifetime, is just a small segment in your efforts to go in towards perfection? If you think like that, then you have been, your mind has transcended limitations, and your consciousness is expanded in every direction. Now, consciousness in itself is omnipotent, all-powerful, omnipresent. It exists here, there, and everywhere, and is omniscient. It knows the past, present, and future. Now, is it possible for ordinary people to go to this stage? When I talk to people about this kind of thing, and you're hearing it so often from me, because I wouldn't compromise. I wouldn't go to the lower level and give satisfaction, because people want satisfaction and to authenticate what they're doing, consuming alcohol and living a life, an animalistic life. Lord Shiva would have told Arjuna, Yagyartat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana taratam karma kauntiye mukta sangha samachara. Hey Arjuna, you're going to be doing a lot of things. Your rajasic quality is going to come up, and you're going to be doing things that you aren't supposed to do, because you have a mind that is driving you to do things. It cannot go into meditation and be in that peaceful state. Or worse than that, you don't want to be a lazy person, that tamasic quality where you're not making any progress in life because it's pure laziness. So Arjuna, there are three qualities that a person will have, and three activities they'll perform. Activities that would keep them on the base nature, animalistic. And here human jealousy and anger and hatred and lust and greed is so prevalent. But try to think of me in all my creation. And then if you serve all of my creation, that will be on the social level. So you want to lift to a higher level, from the animalistic, the body and mind level, onto the intellectual level. And when you come to that level, Arjuna, I'll reach you there, because you've made steps, you've walked towards me, you're thinking about me, and you will get my grace. And what that means, I'll lift you up to that place where your consciousness, and you'll become like me. You'll start thinking like me, and you'll see my creation as in its pure illusionary state, and you'll be laughing, and your life will be transformed. No more sorrow and suffering. And whatever comes into you, into your being, you will look at it and say, oh, you can't fool me, illusion, creation, and you'll be coming out of it. So then your consciousness expands in every direction. You find yourself in a great, beautiful, and wonderful world. Oh, look at this world here. We don't stop and think how beautiful a world we have, right? Look how beautiful nature is making us happy. Colors, the nature changes, the seasons are changing, and look at these bright colors of the leaves, and brown and rust, and the water is, so brilliant here. So we want to enjoy our world like this. And then dormant forces, faculties, and talents come alive. That when you're in a relationship with God, if if you worship the mother and Swami Parameshananda and the guru of the spiritual master, then he'll unleash all these talents, faculties, and they'll come alive. And then what happens? You'll be a different person. And then you'll find yourself to be a far better person than you ever dreamed to be. You know, we are living a life that is so conditioned based on our culture and tradition, our upbringing in the family. But we have to break those bonds. And people, when I tell them this, they think, no, this thing is for you, not for us. We have so much as householders. Well, that's your failure right away. You start out by being a failure, by being a loser. Because the children that you make, the husband that you have, the wife that you have, is just to facilitate your base nature. That the duty of a parent, when they bring a child into the world, is to bring him closer to God. But if you don't have that divinity in you, you can't give what you don't have, because you're going to give what you have. Your low nature, that's going to be, the children will see it and they emulate you. Like alcoholism is a killer in this country and all parts of the world. If you're drinking and when children are growing up, they'll see, oh my, this drinking is part of life. This is how, and drinking comes abuse of spouses, and then drinking gets into alcoholism. If a mother drinks while she's in pregnancy, naturally that child physical makeup will be that, okay, he will get the taste of alcohol, and when that child grows up, he will be an alcoholic too. So this is the sin that parents will commit when they don't raise their children in that divine atmosphere. But again, you can't give what you have. And Durga Puja is a time that we would have transcended and we've lifted ourselves to that place of consciousness. You know, Swami Parameshananda, he's an expert at this. That he's the prophet of the current age. There's nothing allegorical about him. In other words, whatever he thought, whatever he said and did was practical. You know, our history is loaded with these stories, and sometimes it's hard to believe some of the stories. But lo and behold, we have to honor our scriptures, we have to tell it. But when a person like Swami Parameshananda, he calls himself the prophet of the age. Why? Because he wants to, whatever he's saying and doing, it's practical. Places of pilgrimage, to go and let people spiritual, have ashrams there in Benares and all parts of the country. People can go and for a very small fee to maintain the expenses of the ashram. You give a donation and you can go and visit places like pilgrimage, like Benares and the Himalayas and Kanyakumari and wherever you choose to be. BHARAT, SEVASHRAM, SANGHA is there in India, taking care of the less fortunate, the tribal people. He was keen on that. Leave no one behind. And this yagyartat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana, that when we look to help and cooperate with a great spiritual master, incarnation of Lord Srila like Swami Parameshananda, then you will be moving up. Devotees, the biggest sin that you could commit in your life is to live an ordinary life. Don't give excuses why you should live it, because if you do, you're going to be giving the excuses for why you're suffering, and you will be in this sadness and suffering throughout your physical life. And for this life you won't get happiness, and for the next life you haven't made any progress towards your moksha, and you'll go into that place of holding when this body falls off, and you'll suffer for all the things that you do in that subtle body, because you would have all your senses, and the suffering will be there, and whatever good you do, you'll enjoy it in that place, so-called place. And because you have been designated, your next birth has been designated where you're going to come to, whose home you're going to go to. Well, if you did good, Krishna Bhagavan said in Bhagavad Gita, that if you think about me and you try your best, Arjuna, goodness never goes to waste. Wanting to do good never goes to waste, because it do good in this lifetime and your future birth. You might come into a home where you'll be continuing to do your evolution towards perfection. Or you can even do better. go into the house of an enlightened one. For us at Bharat SEVASHRAM, for me, I am in the home of an enlightened father and mother, Swami Parameshananda. Guru Mata Pita, Guru Bandhu Sakha, Tere Charano Me Guru, Mera Koti Pranam. Oh Gurudev, I bow to you endless of times, because I know your father, your mother, your friend, your companion, everything. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhu sasaka tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva om. These prayers are not just to author them, but if we listen to them, who is our Father? Not the one who give us life. We're just passing through in our journey through our mother's womb with the help of our Father, of course. But the true Father is the one that was there in the beginning. Sada Shiva Samarambam Sankacharya Madhyamam Asmaracharya Parantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Like Lord Shiva, oh Lord Shiva, you had no form, you had no name. We're just like you. We came from that no name, no form, that consciousness. And if we can manage this in this lifetime, then what would happen? You've come again of Shankar, you've come again as Swami Parameshananda. Oh, it's how merciful that you laugh and you see how your illusion is so mesmerizing, but also you are helping. You want to help each one who seeks your help to return to that place of consciousness. Let us do adorations to Surya and Narayan this morning, and look at this reflecting like gold on the trees. Om Bhara Bhava Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhara Bhava Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Devotees can stop committing sin. Swami Parameshananda would have said, what are sins? Weakness, fear, cowardice, meanness, and selfishness. Always have your three friends with you. What are real friends? Energy, enthusiasm, perseverance. Why you need these three friends? Because they will take you to your goal. What is the goal of life? Self-realization. You take yourself there, and then universal emancipation. You help others when you have. But if you don't have the divinity, you can't help yourself. How are you going to help others? This morning, let the worship of Mother Durga transform you. Don't go back to your old ways of suffering and a sinful life. Be a religious person. As he would have said, what is religion? Self-sacrifice, self-discipline, adherence to truth and countenance. And this is how you describe yourself. It's not how much you know about Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana and how you could chant Chandi Path and all of these things. These are egotistic things that keep you're looking for name and fame in this lifetime. You want to accumulate wealth. You want to describe your life, how much you have and how much pleasure you're going to get out of life. This is the wrong description. Describe yourself that I have the glimpse of seeing where I came from, and I have this burning desire to go back there. Acharya Dev, Lord Shiva, Mother Durga, Krishna Bhagawan, help me to rediscover that I'm just like you. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Bolo si Guru Maharaj ki, Bolo si Guru Mother Durga ki jai, Shankar Bhagawan ki jai. Adorations to the Buddha and all the Christ, because I'm not a Christian, but I worship the Christ. I'm not Buddhist, but I worship the Buddha, because they're all the same. Their consciousness manifested. Have a mind that's open to everything and attached to nothing. Namaste ji. Have a beautiful day.